Hi, today is a beautiful August day. I only have so much time to make this video, and across the field and the woods, there's somebody over there running a tractor or something. But we're gonna go ahead and have this little talk. So I hope the background noise isn't too distracting. Today is, even though I'm starting out kind of light, it's a very serious topic, which is suicidality and dissociative parts. And it's a topic that is coming up more frequently recently. So I just wanted to give a little bit of information about my opinion on suicidality and people that really tend to dissociate very significantly, and even people with dissociative identity disorder or complex PTSD, where there's some very strong dissociation and dissociative parts. So last September, I did a training, the updated info on suicidality, and one of the things that I took away is just how even the term suicide, we as a people, as a society, should be able to say that as easily as we say hamburger, because it's such a real issue, and very sadly, it happens all too frequently. So that's why I definitely want to talk about this, to get the word out that it's very prevalent, and just some thoughts that I have around how to prevent it. And I have 3 ideas if you are struggling with feeling suicidal, 3 different thoughts I have that you could take. Obviously, if you're in crisis, if you feel suicidal right now, you call the hotline, you call 911, you get yourself to an emergency room. But that's not the purpose of this video. This is separate from those crisis moments. What I do want to say is, oftentimes people believe that feeling suicidal or having suicidal ideation definitely means that someone is depressed. Depression and suicidality are interchangeable, and sometimes that is definitely the case. Sometimes people are in a major depressive episode, or there's situational things that just cause such depression, the person feels that the only way out would be to die out of their pain and distress. And what I want to talk about is, sometimes it's a little different, in my opinion, than depression. You've heard me talk about before, especially using internal family systems model, that some of those parts, we call them the firefighter parts, their job is to show up when things are too off the hook, either with disturbance, distress, just overwhelm, and the firefighter parts just try to do their job and get the system back in balance. And sometimes it's the firefighter parts that are the suicidal parts. So this is for you if you experience that. So the 3 steps are: number 1, I call it the eggs in the basket. Make sure you have many eggs in your basket. At the top of the list, if you struggle with these issues, would be professionals. A therapist that is trained to recognize dissociation and has the skills to help you understand that more and manage those parts that you may have activated. Along right there with that is a psychiatrist or a psychiatric nurse practitioner, because often psychotropic medications actually can make a big difference when those suicidal parts are very active. When they're talking to you about ways to die, you definitely want to get in touch with your therapist and your prescribing physician or nurse practitioner, because you may need a med adjustment, or you may need a med change, or you may need to begin medications, because even if you don't like meds, sometimes they literally save people's lives, and that's what this video is about. We want to save your life. So those professional eggs in your basket are important. Also, people that get you, safe people are important to have in your basket. Sometimes it's family, sometimes family is not safe at all. Sometimes it's friends in real life. Maybe you've connected with a group on social media. But what we want you to be doing, especially in these times of more activation, is telling on yourself, talking to these people. And believe me, you are not alone. It is way more common than you think, this inner battle between the parts. So the eggs in the basket, and maybe even forming a little support group, or suggesting that to your therapist. I have a small support group here for people in my practice that struggle with dissociation, and it's so helpful for people just to know what you feel that too, or you experience that too. That's very important. So the second is making it hard for that suicidal part to succeed. Sometimes these firefighter parts, they come blowing out of, it seems like, nowhere, and they can be extremely impulsive. So to make sure the means that which they would try to complete their task, get them out of the house. Again, refer back to suggestion 1. Lean on your eggs in your basket, asking them to hold on to things for you. If you don't trust yourself with your medication, maybe you can have an accountability person that could help you manage that, so you don't have too many drugs on hand, prescribed drugs on hand. Any kind of weapons or things that you think you could creatively use to hurt yourself or kill yourself. We want them out of the house. Even if you're not feeling like that in the moment, if you know you have an active part, please make it hard on that part, because the more time you can give yourself, time would be on your side in this case, where you're giving yourself a chance to get help so that impulsive part can't succeed. And my third suggestion is, at different times, what we want to do is resource positive other parts in you. So being highly aware when you're not faced with that suicidal part, who are some of the other parts that I can draw in internally? So this is almost like the eggs in the basket inside you. Maybe you have a very powerful part that isn't afraid to speak up. Maybe you have a part that's very hopeful, or that loves nature, or that can connect with others. We want to start developing those positive, strong internal resources that you have. And then when, in case of need, my hope would be that those parts would be able to be accessed, that they could be present. Those are the 3 suggestions I have. And please know that you're not alone in struggling with this kind of thing. And please reach out to any of the eggs that you have in your basket, because you do matter, and you can get through this. Thanks for listening.